Hello and welcome to my vintage audiophile channel. This is now my 94th video. Today I'm going to be talking mainly about a wonderful piece of audio history from the late 80s. It is a Kenwood KR-V-106R, and it is truly a marvel as far as design goes, compared to what you see these days, which is just a few knobs and everything is remote controlled. Well, the remote control for this one controls everything too, but you also have the option of doing everything with the front of the receiver besides. As you can see, there are no knobs on this particular one. It is what they call the computer controlled era of the receivers. It was made in about 1988, which was kind of the last year or so of this particular phenomena. After that, they figured people wanted things more simpler, so they started making receivers that were just a few buttons and most of the stuff you have to use a remote for. This one came out, like I said, around 1988. It is 100 watts per channel. It is believe it or not, a very early surround sound receiver. The front speakers have A and B, so you can have 4 speakers hooked up for front. The rear speakers are measly 5 watts, and that's how they started doing surround sound back then, before people started complaining they couldn't hear their speakers, and they started making evenly matched wattage along all speaker terminals. And it also does have a center speaker provision and a subwoofer, which was kind of a new concept back in those days. But as far as everything else is concerned, this was still the height of the VCR. So there are 3 inputs for VCR alone, and you can also hook up 2 tape decks, a tuner, a CD player, and a phonograph. And it does have 7-band equalizer over here, which are readily able to be contrasted to your likes or your needs. And it does have built-in home theater type of scenarios, as far as like rock, stuff like that, jazz, which is more of equalizer stuff, but it also can be used with the home theater sound. Equalizer is readily turned on or defeated. It also has what they call an EQ presence, up or down, which allows you to change, almost add like a little bit of an echo to your receiver. And you got your surround button here, and you have believe it or not, a button here for cable TV. You can hook up a regular coaxial cable to this from your cable box to get sound from your cable into this particular stereo. Has your balance left and right here. Here's your remote sensor. Does have muting, volume up and down, and then 20 presets that you can preset AM or FM. And your tuning buttons. It does have speakers A and B, power, phones, and you can preset your EQ for different scenarios, so you can have 5 different ways to listen to the equalizer and memorize them, so that you can just push in this A through E will give you just different equalizer settings. And without further ado, I will turn this on and we'll see how it works. I'm going to turn on the tuner first and let you hear how that sounds. And you can, as you can see, there's the equalizer on the left is working. And it is pretty sensitive as far as the tuner goes. You can get quite a few stations on here.
Candidate for Bullenside.
Stations I can't get on other receivers I have.
Brooke Lopez has won the Bob.
Tired, suddenly come.
Probably end up having twice as many stations as I can get with a regular receiver.
Field here on KFA and Plus.
Under just the.
And most of these stations come in very clearer than I can get with other stereos that I have.
That's AG Touring.
Amazon's deliver. Stop SWAT. The DI.
Some of these channels I cannot get at all on any other stereo I have.
It's something unpredictable.
And all I'm using is a standard 75 ohm or 300 ohm, excuse me,
Kitchen, ovens, and
antenna.
multi.
Spilt. Financial decisions. People.
And they were back to going through the lineup again. The next thing I'm going to highlight here is the Kenwood KD-291R turntable. It is a pretty basic turntable. There's nothing too special about it. It is a belt drive. It does have automatic return, and you can turn it on. I did hit the cut there, so that's why it's returning. It is a manual place on the record to start, but it does automatically return. As you can see, it does work pretty good. There's nothing too fancy about it, but it does its job. That came out about 1992, 1993, so about 5 years after the Kenwood receiver came out. I'm going to hit the cut here so it returns. The next thing I'm going to preview here is Marvel type of CD player. It is a 5-disc changer, multi-disc Mitsubishi CD player, and as you can see, it's got a plethora of buttons on it. You'll notice that this here area is almost twice as wide as what your normal CD changer is in the style. And it does have a headphones with the independent volume button for your headphones. What this does have, and let me eject it here for you, is a big cartridge. And in order to get the things out of here, you just push this button and it automatically ejects them. And you've got 5 CDs to load. When you're done, you just put it back, stick it in the slot, and you're ready to go. I am going to start out with disc 2 here, just to show you that it does work. Make sure I've got it on CD, and I will start play. And as your typical CD changer, it does have that click in place when it's ready.
Tonight we'll make history.
And as you can see, it works fine. I've gone through pretty much all of the CDs and they play fine. And as you can see here, it does have the balance indicator here for balance left and right, which is controlled over here. The volume level, that increases as you turn up the volume or decreases as you turn down the volume. I do not have the remote sensor anymore. That kind of broke on me. I've been kind of wanting to get another one, but having trouble finding one. So until I can find one, I'm without the remote, but that's okay because I can always do it from the front here. And one thing that is also kind of unique to this is the fact that it's got this rear volume up and down, so you can actually increase the volume so it closer matches your front speakers. I don't think because it's only 5 watts that you're ever going to get equal matching if you've got it up loud, but at least at lower volumes you could probably get it to be more of a true surround sound than it would if you didn't increase the volume. And that's kind of the rundown of what I've got here today. I have my trusty JBLs here that I'm using for speakers. But all of these, this here is a pretty common one, but these two are pretty unique. This one is, I've never seen anything like it before. That's one of the reasons I bought it at about the same time I bought this, even though I usually like to keep all of my stuff the same brand. In this case, when I did buy this in '88, they just, the CD selection of CD models for Kenwood just didn't really do anything for me until I came across this Mitsubishi, and I knew I had to have it. And even though it's a different brand and a different color, it really matches the system well because it's a pretty high-end player that sounds great with it. As you can see, when you're playing like radio and stuff, a lot of times you'll have the higher frequencies not getting up very high, and that's probably because of compression or whatever. But this particular Mitsubishi does let everything through, and as you can see, these are almost always all peaked out, so you're getting all the frequencies at maximum volume, which makes it sound much better. A lot of people don't like to use EQs. I don't mind them at all, and I do use them when I want to. And one other thing I forgot to mention on here, this also does have a bass boost. And you can also do a peak hold, so that this will only show a set of 5 lights at a time instead of the whole segment. So this particular Kenwood is one of my favorites. I know it's been I've done a lot of videos before and I haven't spotlighted it yet, but I was saving some of the better stuff for later so that people keep tuning into my channel and don't get tired of the same old. This is definitely one that a lot of people probably haven't seen. From about the mid-80s to the late 80s, there was a fad going on amongst a lot of the makers of stereo equipment to do this type of receivers, and Kenwood, Pioneer, Sony, Techniques, you name it, they all had something in their lineup that was a buttons only, push buttons only, excuse me, type of receiver with no dials or knobs present. And this is one of the Kenwoods. 87, they started doing this type of variety where they had a 80R, which was 80 watts a channel. This one's 106R, which is 100 watts per channel. And then the top of the line they made in 88 was the 126R, which had 120 watts a channel. And they all pretty much look the same, just maybe 1 or 2 different little buttons in different places, but they definitely had different wattages to them. And the 126R was the top of the line model. I couldn't afford that at the time when it came out, so I opted for the 106, and I've never regretted it. Anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble on, and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate all of my subscribers. If you have a question or comment you want to leave for me, don't hesitate to do so. I see all your comments and all your questions, and I do answer them when I see them. And I appreciate your time, and I will keep posting as long as people keep wanting to watch. Until next time, have a great day. Have a happy and safe 4th of July weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye-bye.